All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving headfirst into a true classic, Mark Douglas's The Disciplined Trader. We're going to unpack the psychological secrets that can lead to consistent success in the wild world of the markets. So let's just kick things off with a big question. Most people who get into trading, they spend all their time on strategies, on charts, on market analysis. But what if the real key to success isn't out there at all? What if they're looking in completely the wrong place?
See, this is the core of what Mark Douglas argues. He says the greatest challenge you're ever going to face as a trader isn't trying to outsmart the market. Nope. It's mastering the incredibly complex and, frankly, powerful psychological forces that are running the show inside of you.
Okay, so this brings us to this huge concept from the book, something Douglas calls the mental environment. You can think of it as this invisible landscape inside your head, where the real battle for trading success is either won or lost. Think of it like your mind's personal operating system. It's this internal framework, a mix of your beliefs, your memories, all your associations that literally dictates how you see everything, and of course, how you make every single one of your trading decisions. So what's this environment made of? Well, it's all the stuff you might expect. Your beliefs, memories, goals, and so on. But here's the absolute key insight from Douglas. These are not just abstract ideas floating around in your head. He says they all exist as a form of structured energy. And you really got to get this part. These abstract things, your beliefs about money, your memories of a bad loss, they aren't just passive thoughts. They are active forces inside of you, and they have a real, tangible power to affect your behavior. So, if all these mental parts are a form of energy, where in the world does that energy come from? Well, the source is pretty simple. It comes from every single experience you have ever had. The way Douglas explains it is that our experiences get translated into these little electrical impulses in our brain. And every memory, whether it's your first awesome trade or a totally devastating loss, carries its own distinct positive or negative charge. And that charge sticks around, influencing you way after the event is over. And wow, the difference between these two types of energy is like night and day. Positive energy, that makes your world bigger. It builds confidence, it makes you curious, it opens you up to learning new things. But negative energy, it does the exact opposite. It creates fear, and that fear shrinks your perception. It limits what you're willing to do, and it traps you in these painful cycles of avoidance. Okay, so now we can start connecting the dots. We can finally understand why so many people with genuinely brilliant strategies still end up failing when they try to treat the markets. Think about it. The market is not like most things in our life. It has no script. There's no clear beginning, middle, or end. It's just this constant, unstructured flow of uncertain information. And that kind of environment, it's the perfect trigger for our deepest fears and all those negatively charged memories. And when those fears get triggered, that's when self-sabotage kicks in. You see traders hesitating, or chasing trades they know they shouldn't, or refusing to cut a loss, or taking a tiny profit way too early. These are all just symptoms of an internal war. Their conscious goals are fighting against their subconscious fears and beliefs. And here's what you've really got to understand. Feelings like fear or stress or frustration, they're not just random noise. They are vital signals. They're your mind's alarm system telling you that your inner map of the world is out of sync with the actual reality of the market. So if the problem is internal, well, the solution has to be too, right? And this brings us to the really practical stuff. The tools Douglas gives us for actually creating real change in our mindset. Honestly, this might be the most empowering idea in the entire book. You cannot control what the market is going to do next, period. But you have the absolute ability to intentionally manage your own thoughts, to drain the power from your limiting beliefs, and to literally rewire your own mind for success. Okay, so here's a really powerful, practical exercise right from the book. By just writing I am statements over and over without thinking, you kind of bypass your normal filter and let your subconscious beliefs come to the surface. And when you see contradictions, like writing I am a disciplined person right next to I am lazy, boom, you've just found a hidden internal conflict that's sucking away your mental energy. This next exercise is all about building mental muscle. It's like going to the gym for your willpower. By picking some small, insignificant task that you really resist doing and then forcing yourself to do it on a schedule, you prove to your subconscious that you are in control. You're training your mind to act on your goals, not on its old, unhelpful programming. And it doesn't just stop there. Douglas gives us a whole toolkit. Writing things down helps make your thoughts tangible so they're easier to work with. Affirmations are all about consciously pumping positive energy into the new beliefs you want. And this is huge. Redefining your mistakes as learning opportunities helps remove that negative charge of fear that comes with being wrong. And really, this is what it all boils down to. The goal of a disciplined trader isn't to bend the market to their will or to somehow predict the future perfectly. The goal is to develop the mental flexibility to adapt to the market exactly as it is, moment by moment. So we'll leave you with this final thought, because let's be real, this framework isn't just about trading stocks or crypto, is it? It's lures for looking at pretty much any area of your life. So ask yourself, where else are your hidden beliefs and your charged up memories shaping your reality and holding you back from what you could really be? The real market, after all, is always within.